Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much and welcome back. You'll know that we're here working on the 86 at BRZ today. We got a couple things to do to get it ready for the track, as well as fix a couple exhaust leak issues that I had to get it ready for the tune, which will be happening next week, which I'm super excited about. Finally get this Ace header tuned and pick up that extra power that we've been missing. I'll be going down to see Neil at the Racers Line in Concord, California. Check him out if you're local. He's great. He's probably the best FRS BRZ 86 mechanic in California. He works on them all the time. Literally there will be 10 to 15 anytime you pull up to his shop. So yeah, we're going to be going down there to get the tune next week and get this thing ready for the February 24th 86 Drive Challenge event at Thunder Hill. So what we're working on today, got some exhaust header studs, which if you've seen any previous videos, you know we deal with a lot of rust on the car, so got to replace some of those that were rusted and seized and essentially just turned into bolts, which are causing a little bit of an exhaust leak around the header. So we'll be getting that done, as well as some SPC Camber Bolts for the front to help dial in a little bit of extra camber for more front grip while we're out at the track. I'll be doing rear camber bolts, or rear lower control, adjustable lower control arms eventually, but for the first couple events I just really wanted to get a little bit of extra camber. I also picked up a Perrin oil cooler. Got a really good deal on it. It was only used for a couple months, and I mean, it's in perfect shape. So picked up an oil cooler, which I won't be installing today, but we'll be mocking it up a little bit to figure out how it's going to fit with the Ace radiator duct that we have, which you can see here. So trying to decide how we're going to mount it. Probably mount it in here somewhere. I would kind of wanted to do a horizontal setup, as that really helps with cooling, but because of the way the radiator is already currently set up, I won't really have the ventilation, so I'll probably just have to mount it vertically. And I think the biggest thing is going to be figuring out how to run the lines. I might have to drill a hole over in this side of the radiator duct to get the lines through. But yeah, so we'll get started here and get this thing a little bit more prepped and ready for the track day. Alright, so now that we got it up, gotta take off the under panel, and I'll kind of show you what I'm dealing with as far as the exhaust bolts go. So here's the Ace Anaconda 42.7 millimeter header. As you can see, bolts are pretty rusted, a lot of them are seized. And if you look between these two runners, it looks as though one is completely backed out. And that's probably where the exhaust leak is coming from. It's a lot of soot around there, so that's not good. So let's go ahead and get these replaced. You can see the Fumoto oil drain valve, which I installed in the previous video. Let's get these things all replaced. There's a good little trick where you take two of the nuts and tighten them against each other, and you can back them out that way, and then basically do the reverse process for the install. So here's to show you what we're dealing with. You can see the stud just came out completely with the bolt. It's all rusty on one side. This is why we're going through and replacing them all. Apparently it's a super common problem with Subarus, so not a super big deal, but let's get it fixed. Alright, so you can see there was a pretty serious exhaust leak there. Gasket still looks good though, so I think there just wasn't, because that bolt backed out. See, this one looks good. I think because that stud backed out, that it was just leaking. So we'll get them all replaced and get it all fixed up. So as you can see, just tighten two of the nuts together on the stud. We'll hit it with some anti-seize so that it keeps it from getting stuck in the head or causing any further seizing issues. Then you'll just stick it in the head and tighten it down. Alright, so that header exhaust stud all went really well. That's all complete. So we'll start on the SPC Camber Bolts. So when you get these, it's 2 bolts. These go in the bottom of the strut assembly. So these replace your bottom nuts, and then the top nuts or the top bolts, you use the bottom bolt as the top bolt since it's a bit thinner, and you get almost another degree of camber. So these are supposed to add 1.75 plus or minus degrees of camber, and when you add that top bolt, people have gotten up to 2.5, 2.75 degrees of front negative camber, which is really, really helpful for grip when you're turning in and trying to get the most out of the front end of the car. So we'll start here and we'll get these installed. We'll give a good look at the Stop Tech brakes that we installed in the previous video, which I'll put a card for up in the top corner. If you haven't watched any of my previous videos, please feel free. Like, subscribe, comment, help grow the channel. As everybody knows, the smaller channels have been demonetized by YouTube unless you've got 4,000 view hours and 1,000 subscribers. So anything that you guys could do to spread the word, like, subscribe, all that definitely helps grow this channel. And not that I'm really in it for the monetization, but it certainly helps keep things going on the project. I also started a Patreon page, which there will be a link for in the description, as well as a link in the end of the video. If you'd like to help and donate to help the project along and help fund some more parts and some more equipment to make these videos better, it'd be greatly appreciated. Alright, so you can see there's 2 bolts here. Again, the SPC will replace this bottom one, and then you'll use this bottom as the top since it's a thinner bolt on the inside diameter. So that'll help get you even more negative camber and suck the wheel in. Alright, so we got the bottom bolt put in from here, put into the top, and then we'll put this SPC camber bolt in the bottom, and we'll dial in some camber. Alright, so we got her all buttoned up. See the camber bolt here. So it's all nice and buttoned up. You can see the Stop Tech brakes, braided lines we did in a previous video. Alright, let's get the wheels back on it and get it put back together, and we'll take it off for a little drive. We're going to install the Laguna 100 back on just because, hey, more loud, why not? And it'll actually help get a good comparison of when the cold start is deactivated on the Delicious Tuning EcuTech Tune. So you'll be able to hear the difference and compare it to the previous exhaust video. Alright, so we're gonna